one of my roles at the company is basically to understand what new technology trends are happening, ones that we already know of, ones that we don't, what are the new capabilities that we are looking to adopt and install, but at the same time, what else is out there? And as you can see, it's a big company. Some of you may only know about the Band-Aids, but we do a lot more than that. You know, we're heavy in the consumer side. Obviously, we're heavy in the medical devices, knee implants, hip implants. We do some spine work, a lot of tools in the surgical spaces. But it's also the pharmaceutical side as well. So focusing on diabetes, focusing on Alzheimer's, focusing on oncology. It's a very, very large organization. And consumer is just one small example of that. And again, as you can see, Band-Aids is the smallest portion of that division. But a lot of the pain points that we have across the different lines of businesses exist not just across our company, but also across different industries as well. And it's really a matter of staying ahead of the curve, not just understanding where we're currently at, but also where we should be going. And we're trying to implement these new guiding principles, and some of them are not foreign for you in a startup world, because you're able to be a lot more nimble. But for us, it's really hard because we are over a 100-year-old company. So a lot of these guiding principles that we have in place, you can't quite break them as easily. So being agile, you know, having an innovative model, understanding what the ecosystem looks like, being at places like this, having the opportunity to come not just speak to you, but also learn what you're trying to help implement, help change, help guide. And we're really trying to drive that across the different lines of the organization. Again, consumer may be a little bit more agile, more forward-thinking than, let's say, legacy IT within the organization. But understanding what those opportunities are is really the first step in having the conversation, sharing what is a pain point, sharing what is a need for us, and then together as true partnerships, you're able to then start driving a lot more of that flexibility, that forward-thinkingness, and again, ultimately designing what we should be looking at in the future. This is one example of what we're doing at the company. Data, as was mentioned before, is a foundation of a lot of operations. What we're looking at across the board is ingesting information from our solution partners, our SaaS partners. As we start looking at new innovations that we're delivering to the consumer, to the doctors, to the patients, we're trying to get better sense of their world, their needs, understanding their personas. Just take a look at the little wearables that a lot of people have. How are you going to start getting information from that to help guide you as to whether you're doing the right exercises, whether you're rehabbing correctly, whether the recent surgery that you just had is working for you or not? From a science perspective, how are we starting to get information about the molecules, the compounds, the different test tube activities that we're doing in the labs, and also what our other partners are doing, and how is that evolving across the lifespan? But then also technologists. We have all these great ideas as to how do we improve the efficiency of the organization, both inside and outside. Working with the hospital around improving the future of digital surgery. Working with you as to how do you engage with the new tools that are out there, whether it's information tools or just medical tools. And that's really a hard component for us because there's varying levels of maturity of what we can look at for this information based on regulatory rules, but at the same time, some of these concepts are just too early for us. So what we're looking for as you start taking a look at how to ingest this information, how to process it, how to make sense of it is how do we bring that into the organization, break the old molds, share the vision as to why it is that you're trying to build your opportunity, build your company, really change the game. But at the same time, engaging with folks like here at Workbench is just to get a better sense of what industry partners like us are looking to do. So I think this is really the last slide that I wanted to highlight. But again, just know that it's a large organization. Many different stakeholders, both inside the company and outside. Some of them yourselves, some of them that you're trying to solve and sell to. But at the same time, understanding that even though we may want to adopt some of these newer capabilities, we have challenges as to how do we break the current mold. And we're looking for ideas and basically just opportunities to partner with you and build that out. So with that being said, any questions? Yes.
On your 5 principles, I just scanned through it, it looks like they are all internally focused.
This is a consumer focused slide, but it's very similar to a lot of what we're looking.
Some of the feedback I was going to give you was that when I'm looking at this, this is almost like an internal Johnson and Johnson discussion. I don't need a custom. So that's the overarching principle around the strategy. So you may be coming in and looking at a subset of the challenges, but you're not threading it across the overall.
Yeah, one of the challenges is, again, corporate presentations, so we're limited as to how much we can share. But that being said, talking about the different storylines, talking about the different personas that are out there, if you think about just the patient world, that's one of the customers. So how do they get information? How do we deliver the right information to them? How do we get a sense of the different partners with the doctors, with the patients, the healthcare providers, even the family members? And that's just that storyline. If you were to take a look at the IT side of the organization, how are you transferring information from, let's say, a robot, a futuristic robot, or a part of the supply chain initiative that we have internally? A lot of organizations, ship information. So how do you exchange data, especially sensitive data, about products that you're taking, products that we're selling and shipping to different organizations? It is a very high-level slide. I do agree with that. But I'd be more than happy to also talk about some examples for you that is not just unique to us, it's really common to the entire industry.
So you have 135,000 employees roughly. And what level of the organization is this initiative sponsored? Is it CEO, executive vice president, VP?
So this initiative right now specifically within IT. So at the CIO level, we're looking at technologies that can help enable different functions, different opportunities for the organization.
CIO across J&J, one CIO?
Global CIO. Just like any other large organization, you do have divisional CIOs as well, but we're really looking at enterprise capabilities across the board.